Hi there. In this video I'm just going to put together a few cards using this collection here. Now this is a digital download collection from the Crafty Witches, and as you can see there's lots of cute gnomes and cute little rabbits and bears, and this collection is called Gnome and More. So to start off with, I'm just going to do a quick and easy card. Now this is one of the plain papers, and I've got one of the toppers, and then from another topper I'm just going to fussy cut out this little gnome here. So like I said, this is quite a simple card to put together. I've also gone and printed off the insert too. Now this insert I've actually gone and reduced it down to 70% before I printed it out, just so it fits my 6x6 card here. So I'm just going to put the insert in first. Just add in some double-sided tape here. And then this is going to be attached to the front of my card on the inside. Okay, and I do that as when you open the card, the insert is straight there in front of you. Now, the plain paper here, I cut this to just double check that it should be 14. Yeah, the plain paper here is 14 centimeters square, and that one's going to go straight on to the front of the card base. Okay, just get that where you're happy with the borders are equal each side. And then I've got a piece of white card, and that measures 10 centimeters square, and I've cut out some of the matching plain paper there, and that measures 10 centimeters square, and that's going to be attached just to the center there. Now before I do that, I'm just going to add my topper on to the center. There we go. And then I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of my card, then back of this topper here. Just make sure I've got the insert the right way around. Now, instead of putting it at the centre, I'm decided I'm just going to put it slightly up there to the left, and then I'm going to add her just on there. So because I use foam pads on the topper, I'm going to have to use foam pads on her too. Now, she doesn't need to be covered in foam pads because she's resting on the topper there. Okay, so that's quite a quick and easy first card to make. We've just some plain paper and then a couple of toppers, and of course the insert in the centre there. So I'll just pop that one over there for a second. Now the next card that I'm putting together is here. Now this is an A5 card. So I've got my insert here. Now this time this is a different insert, so instead of using the one from the collection here, I've actually used an insert from Essential Inserts Volume 1, and again it's a digital download from the Crafty Witches. So I'm just going to add that in. Again, I'm adding that to the inside of the front of my card. Okay. Now, this time I've gone and used some actual purple card that I have and some white card. Now, the purple card, just get my ruler in the right place, measures 21 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres, and so my white card measures 20.5 centimetres by 14 centimetres, and that's going to be added to the front there. And then this time, this is one of the toppers, and I've gone and matted and laid that onto some purple card and some white card, and then I've gone and reprinted it out again, and this time cut the centre topper out that I'm going to use my foam pads to pop on there. Now, the purple card measures 11 centimetres square. The white card measures 10.5 centimetres square, and then you've got the topper on top. So like I said, that's just going to pop in there. And then I have a border with the same mats and layers with the purple card, the white card, and then this is one of the pattern papers. So with this one, the purple card measures 6 centimetres. The white card measures 5.5 centimetres, so the pattern paper measures 5 centimetres, and that actually goes all the way across there. So the length of each of these pieces will be 14.5 centimetres, which that's going to go there. And then this is one of the sentiments that actually does come on the same sheet with this topper, and I've matted that just to a piece of white card because it's going to be sat on top of the paper here. Oops. Now the white card measures 4.5 centimetres by 9.5 centimetres, and then that's going to be attached there. And then I've cut this cute little teddy out from one of the images, and I'll be adding that there too. So I'm just going to add some foam tape to the back. Oops, and then add my topper on. Okay, and then like I said, I'm going to add some foam pads to this second topper. Okay, and then a sentiment on the bottom layer. And just adding a foam pad to the teddy image. And just pop in there. So it is quite a simple looking card with not too many layers for papers. So keeping the white background does make the images stand out quite well too. And then the insert. So just pop that one over there. Now, next one is a DL card. Just get all my pieces over there. Now for the insert this time, I've taken a piece of, well, I printed out some of the paper, and then also used some of the white card too. So the white card measures 9.5 centimeters. Sorry, pattern paper measures 9.5 centimeters and by 20.5 centimeters. So the white card measures 9 centimeters by 20 centimeters, and that just gives you somewhere just to write your message. So just going to pop that in first. And then I have my layer here, so again with a pattern paper, and that measures 9.5 centimeters by 20.5 centimeters. And then I have some white card there that measures 8.5 centimeters by 19.5 centimeters, and then one of the pattern papers again, and that measures 8 centimeters by 19 centimeters, and I've just gone and matted all those together, and that's just going to be on the front of my card. I think this card shows that you don't always have to use your plain solid colours as a bottom matte layer, as the pattern paper works just as well. And then I have my sentiment that I've gone and matted on and laid onto some white card, and then this is one of the toppers, and this is matted onto some white card, and the white card measures 8.5 centimeters square. And then I've printed off the image again and cut out the centre of the topper there. And then with the paper, I have gone and cut out a couple little bits from the paper. I mean, if you want, you can use your snapshot tool on Adobe Reader and you can enlarge this paper to make these images bigger, but I've just kept them the same size. So I'm just going to pop that in there at a slight angle and add some foam pads to my sentiment too. I've got a bit of a mark there on my white card, so I'm just going to pop that over there just to hide that. Okay, so that's my DL card. And the foam pads do give it really nice dimension there too. So just pop that one over there. Now, my last card is going to be a 6x6 gatefold card. Now, I've got all my bits like I know I printed them out, so I'm just going to pop this together. So these are two 6x6 cards, and all I've done is just folded the front on each of the pieces so that then they will nicely slot together to make a gatefold card. Now you may just have to slightly trim one of them just so that they don't overlap. So it's just a small amount you're taking off. And then that attaches to the inside. Okay, now I've printed off the insert slightly smaller. Possibly is, oh, yeah, it's the same size as what I've printed off there. Oh, actually the image isn't. The image is slightly smaller there. So I said that was 70%, so maybe this one's done at 75. I'm afraid I didn't write it down. So there's my insert on there, and then I've cut the balloons out that were on the other side of the insert. I'm just going to attach them into there. Now I haven't got any matte layer for my insert, I'm just attaching that straight to my card base. Okay. Now for the inside, I printed off some of the solid paper and one of the pattern papers. Solid paper is 14.5 centimetres square. Then I've got some white card there that measures 14 centimetres square, and my pattern paper measures 13.5 centimetres square. So I've laid those together, and that's going to sit in the centre there. And then I've got one of the toppers which I've matted onto white card, and I've reprinted it out again and just fussy cut the image out there. So the white card on the back measures 10.5 centimetres square, and like I said, I've just attached the topper straight onto there. And then for the front, I've got two side pieces here, and they're both going to be attached to there. So my plain card measures 14.5 centimetres by 7 centimetres. So the white card measures 14 centimetres by 6.5 centimetres. And another one of the other pattern papers measures 13.5 centimetres by 6 centimetres, and I've got two of those for each side. Okay, so that opens up like that, and then I've first cut out one of the toppers, and I have one of the sentiments that I've matted onto white card that I'm just going to pop there. I'm just going to use some foam pads on my little gnome here. And then I've got one of the envelopes that I've cut out from this paper here. So there's the 6x6 gatefold card. So I'll just pop in here what I've made. So this was a 6x6 card, the DL card, the A5 card, and then my 6x6 gatefold card. Now these are just some of the ways that you can use this collection, of course. You just print it off and just use your own imagination, and of course there's all sorts of different card bases that you can also use. And I just bring this in here again just so you can see that this is the collection that I've used. So if you like this collection, then pop along to the Crafty Witches website, and you can have lots of fun with it. But for now, there's my cards, and I shall see you again soon. Bye bye.